The following project was funded by the Administration for Children and Families, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, as a Head Start Innovation and Improvement Grant. Miramay, Take a Look at Me, a strengths-based approach to family engagement in Head Start. Grant number 90YD0244. This DVD was produced by the Institute on Human Development and Disability with the College of Family and Consumer Sciences at the University of Georgia.
The Take a Look at Me portfolio is a strengths-based discovery tool that is informed by many years of research and experience. It is a simple, yet highly effective resource that anyone can use. Over 8,000 individuals and families have used the portfolio worldwide, in 29 U.S. states and 8 other countries. And the Take a Look at Me portfolio has been translated into 7 languages. It all started with the work of Mary Rugg at the Institute on Human Development and Disability. Mary's entire career has been devoted to promoting high-quality early intervention and education for young children and their families.
Most of my work has been hands-on with kids and families, and that is a passion that I have. One of the challenges that we have in early childhood and in early intervention is really focusing on a child's strengths, because a lot of what we do in the field is focused on deficits. And one of the things that influences children's attitudes and teachers' attitudes toward inclusion is how they feel about that child.
Mary developed the Take a Look at Me portfolio to empower families to share their child's strengths, abilities, and interests. This allows teachers to tailor their strategies to educate each individual child in the best possible way.
In addition, for families, it's so critical because so much of what families get is focused on what's wrong.
Mary and her team have put years of experience and research into the development of the portfolio. The portfolio contains a very carefully designed series of questions and prompts. These help families observe their children and identify their many strengths, interests, and learning opportunities. In this way, attitudes can be shifted towards what's possible rather than what's problematic.
I wanted a way to be able to turn people's ideas around, to give them strategies to support the child, and to be able to help them really consider what this child can do as opportunities for learning. I wanted folks to really be able to see who this child was as an individual, and in addition, in the context of who they are within their family.
The questions encourage family members to describe their child's overall play activities and interests. They then transition to more focused questions like, what makes me smile? What frustrates me? Ways to help us as a family, and so on. All this allows teachers to get to know their students by hearing from the people who know them best, the family. The portfolio also helps children with disabilities and families from different cultures develop a common understanding with teachers and break down stereotypes and language barriers. It allows parents and teachers to work together to support children's learning.
The portfolios did help us learn about a lot of the strengths because in what we do, we so often talk about weaknesses. We focus on strengths and weaknesses, but we're always trying to target their weaknesses, and that, unfortunately, it seems like that's what we spend our time talking to the families about. And so it was nice to hear about the child's interests and strengths from the family and to sort of see them in a different light.
There's such a challenge in figuring out all of the ins and outs of children. And so by having the opportunity for families to be able to share information during this initial process of getting to know one another, the teacher has the benefit of understanding what the child's favorites are, what their interests are, what motivates them, knowing already what frustrates them and what you could do to be able to support that child when they're frustrated. If you know child development, you know that if you have one little nugget of interest of a child, you can do miracles.
It gives me a chance to really get to know their teachers and their friends and how they're doing at school, so it's very important.
I want to do it every year. I just absolutely loved every minute of it. It is just an amazing way to get to know your kids.
And the feedback from families since we began this process many years ago has just been phenomenal. Until you participate in it, I don't think you really recognize the advantage. I mean, I think I can sit here and share, my face will be beaming and I can talk about all of the kinds of, ways that I'm passionate about it. But it's when you see another family share their book with their child or with other children.
Research indicates that the portfolio enhances many aspects of early childhood education, including family engagement, natural learning opportunities, literacy, inclusion, bilingualism, cultural understanding, and relationship building, all with one simple tool.
We have a hard time actually seeing parents and having one-on-one communication with them. So I've seen a difference. They're actually at the school more. They would actually come to the classroom and just hang out. Not even to come and do an activity or anything, they would just show up.
When you're able to look at the things that kids enjoy, you can better learn ways to help them learn. Because that was another question that was in the book. What are the ways that, help your children learn, and how can we help your family? So I think that when they read over those things, they can definitely learn to put some of the things that the parents are telling them into the child's learning and everything like that.
We have a little boy that is not really very verbal at all, but he loves circle time. So we asked, what's your favorite song? Which we asked all of them. And we were kind of showing him pictures, assuming he would just point to the picture. And he actually said, Wheels on the Bus, Wheels on the Bus. And it was so exciting for us because he'd never said it in circle time before.
My son, for the longest time, I'm working with him with his name, to write his name. And now with the portfolio, he kind of worked on that real good. I mean, the first page, he saw the way I placed it together, and finally it made an impression in his mind, and he can now put his name together.
And I like to talk to them just about their child, their strengths, and not like they need to gain in this area, they need to gain in that area, but actually sit down and have a casual conversation with them and see what they feel, the things that their child likes, and what I noticed in the classroom that she likes, and kind of put it together and come to a conclusion that, hey, let's try this, you can try this at home, and I'll try this here.
Las personas que ven el portafolio pueden aprender de la cultura, de mi cultura, porque pueden ver las cosas que nosotros hacemos y me han preguntado, ¿y esto por qué? O ¿por qué? Tú sabes, entonces ahí yo le explico de mi raza, de mi cultura y eso.
It helped with communication skills as well, because there is that language barrier, and it was really amazing to see the kids interacting with each other, learning each other's languages, and it's just really neat to see how they were able to teach each other in this particular way.
With their portfolio, their families are able to talk about their background, the things that they like to do at home, how they interact as a family or with the child. So then the teachers can have this background information to build upon that and use the families as the experts. And then the families come to the center and learn what the teachers are working on so that they can continue with that at home, so that everybody's on the same page.
Mary and her team have implemented the Take a Look at Me portfolio at several Head Start centers with great success. This is one such center in Georgia. Follow along with us to see how easy it is to use the Take a Look at Me portfolio. This will give you ideas for how you can start the process. At this center, they used two types of portfolios. One gets completed by the teachers and one by the family. The first step in the process is to get all the interested families signed up to the program. They then pick up a portfolio kit, which includes materials such as markers, stickers, and so on, to personalize and decorate the portfolio. The family then takes the first essential step of creating their child's unique portrait. And it's really easy because it's something that family members do naturally every day, just watching what their child does. The only difference is that this time they have some pretty specific questions to answer in their books. Who are the child's favorite people? What are some of their favorite activities? And what is a typical day like? Once family members have spent some time really thinking about who their child is and what their life is like, they can decide how they want to personalize the portfolio. Family members often gather things from around the house that represent the life of their child. And of course, photos are a great place to start. Other things they often add include artwork, images from magazines and newspapers, drawings or writings, favorite stories, songs, games, and activities. Anything that represents their child. There are as many possibilities as there are children, and this individualization of the portfolio is what really identifies the particular child. Many families work together on their portfolios at home, but to help them get started, this Head Start Center has also organized scrapbooking parties. They have provided all kinds of fun stuff: colored paper, hole punches, colored markers, stickers, glue, crayons, and paint sticks. Once the families complete their Take a Look at Me portfolios, the Head Start program makes copies, which they place in the Classroom Literacy Center. Many Head Start centers also choose to make classroom portfolios. Teachers spend some time with each child individually, capturing the child's interest within the classroom. When all the portfolios are complete, this Head Start Center has a sharing party, where all the families and children come together with the teachers to find out more about each other.
Ven para acá, mami. ¿Te acuerdas cuando fuimos aquí? ¿Dónde fuimos aquí? Six Flags. ¿Te acuerdas cuando fuimos a Six Flags?
We went to Six Flags and they took the picture. This is her at school with her teachers, Miss Dixie and Miss Deanna, and with some of her classmates. It's special to me because I get the chance to watch her grow from a baby. So it's very special to me.
At the end of every family portfolio, there is a hopes and dreams section. This is where families share the aspirations they have for their children. It may sound small, but putting those aspirations down on paper can really help teachers understand the child and the family they come from. And of course, it helps the family focus on what's important to them and their children. It is this common understanding between families, teachers, and children that really facilitates the education process.
It was actually very touching to read a lot of the goals from the parents, and a lot of them were very simple goals, like I want him to be able to tell people what he wants and needs, and then a lot of them were, life goals. I want him to become a doctor, or so it was very interesting. Those are also things that we don't get to hear from parents very often.
I guess for the immediate future would just be that he continues to develop those skills and continues to catch up with the other kids. And in the more distant future would be, of course, that he gets better than them and goes past them and becomes a doctor or a lawyer, maybe a preacher or preacher, doctor, lawyer.
The Take a Look at Me portfolio is a dynamic and powerful tool. It can really help to give children the best start in life. The portfolio is available in English, Spanish, French, Slovenian, Vietnamese, Mandarin, and Korean. And translations into other languages can be made. But if you're worried about how to put all this together, fear not. The Take a Look at Me team is there to help you every step of the way. They have been deeply involved in the implementation of the portfolio process in various educational settings and have all the experience necessary to help you make Take a Look at Me a huge success. Years of experience and research have gone into the design of the portfolio. Yet its straightforward design makes it a pleasure to use. For more information or to purchase the Take a Look at Me portfolio, visit our website at www.strengthsbased.com.
I think you can use a portfolio to bring children together in a sense of they know each other better. I think children their conversation expands when they know more about each other.
I kind of wish there were more pages because now that it's done, I'm like, oh, I would have loved to do even more.